particular video is kind of an interaction. It's something that, it's a question that kind of drives me nuts, okay, in regards to sexual identity. But, you know, and the issue of, as the title suggests, this is an AP article I saw on Fox News. California governor signs landmark law on gay history. Governor Jerry Brown has signed a landmark bill adding lessons about gay history to social studies classes in California's public schools. Brown, a Democrat, signed the bill Thursday, making California the first state in the nation to require public schools to include the contributions of gays and lesbians in social studies curriculum. As Democratic State Senator Mark Leno of San Francisco, the bill's author, has said that teaching gay history in public schools will teach students to be more accepting of gays and lesbians. Now, it goes to the issue of, I guess, gay history. Let me preface my comments by saying many of the homosexuals I have encountered over the years have been very sweet, kind. Every one of them I've encountered have been very sweet and kind people. I think the news media, Hollywood, has done a terrible disservice because the evangelical community, of which I'm a part of, most don't have any encounters with homosexuals. So whatever views they do have or experiences they do have actually come from Hollywood, come from the news media, which I think is part of one of the real main tensions between Christians and homosexuals. Their views come from what they see in the media. But it asks some questions that I think I'll use the end toward something in the end of the article to bring up. It says Assembly Speaker John Perez, the first openly gay speaker of the California Assembly, pointed to a few contributions of gay people, including Frederick von Steuben, one of George Washington's military advisors who fled Prussia after he was hounded as a homosexual. Von Steuben is credited with being one of the fathers of the Continental Army and teaching essential military drills. He also cited Alan Turing, a mathematician who helped crack Nazi Germany's secret codes by creating the Turing bomb, a forerunner of modern computers. When I read about Alan Turing in history, I want to know, is there a particular expertise he had as a mathematician? What were these secret codes? I want to know more about Nazi Germany. You know, what were the codes for? Did they have a particular purpose? Was Turing in any danger? How difficult was it to create the Turing bomb? Did he have any obstacles? Was he going about trying to do something that people thought he was insane for doing? It was impossible, but he was able to do it anyway. The same goes for von Steuben. It says being one of the fathers of the Continental Army. Well, what brought the idea of the Continental Army about for him? What kind of drills did he bring these people through? And being over them in such harsh, difficult environments, in such a difficult time, how did he keep their morale up? And, you know, if they're in the middle of the wilderness, how is he making sure they're fed, you know, and on and on. What kind of advisor was he? How close was he to George Washington as an advisor? Was he just part of a panel of advisors, so to speak, or was he really in Washington's ear? All sorts of historical questions I have regarding Steuben or Turing. Their sexual preference is irrelevant. And it just goes to a greater issue. I do not understand this obsession with making your sexuality your very identity. If you ask me who I am, I'm going to tell you I'm into theology. I like dogs, minus a chihuahua, which is nothing but an oversized rat. I like pizza, dislike vegetables, enjoy watching football, basketball. I like nature. I'm a family guy. I believe in treating people kindly. At times, to a fault is my issue. I'm probably a bit too passive an individual. And on and on. I could tell you plenty of things about me. My sexual preference is never even going to come into the discussion. It's just not who I am. Being attracted to women, it's not who I am. It's not an integral part of who I am. That's just... So when I read about Turing, in something like this, he's a gay mathematician. What does how does him being gay help in finding out about Nazi Germany's codes? When he's trying to break those codes, does being gay give him some sort of benefit? If it does, then maybe it's part of the story. But what he did in the bedroom is irrelevant to breaking Nazi Germany's codes. The same goes with von Steuben. What does him being gay somehow help in leadership? Somehow help in coming up with military drills or keeping up with morale with the troops or coming up with a military strategy against the enemy? No! I'm sorry, it comes across as some sort of bizarre, creepy sexual obsession. It just does. Your sexuality is not your identity. It's just not. Who people are far more than their sexuality. But there's something else in this story that's a bit disturbing. Okay? You know, I read this and the hair on the back of my neck stood up. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It says SB 48 would require, as soon as the 2013-2014 school year, the California Board of Education and local school districts to adopt textbooks and other teaching materials that cover the contributions and roles of not gays, sexual minorities. Think about that for a minute. So, the polygamist? How about the pederast? You know, that raises a question, doesn't it? Here's the issue. In coming up with something like this, you're also giving despite Leno's objection, which is just idiotic, that it doesn't promote a sexual behavior, you're giving your approval of a sexual behavior you can't actually give any moral foundation for. Diversity is not a foundation, because there are various views of diversity within the world. Which one's better than the other? And is there an objective foundation, a truly objective definition of diversity? And what is that? Just saying diversity isn't going to fly. You can't give a genuinely decent reason, objective reason for same-sex marriage being okay, for this being a viable lifestyle. You know, you bring up sexual minorities here. What about the guy who wants to sleep with his sister? They're doing it in the privacy of their own home. They're not. That should be okay. And if that guy's done something in history, well, we should, promote him, as well as the fact that he likes to sleep with his sister. Or how about Harvey Milk, who sleeps with little boys? We're promoting him. And we should then, tell what a good thing it is to sleep with little boys. And we're doing it anyway. I mean, you have a Hollywood movie celebrating, the guy's lifestyle. I just don't understand this issue of gay history. No, it's history. The fact that Turing was gay is irrelevant to the history. It just seems like some sort of obsession to me. It's bizarre and creepy. I don't care about his sexual preference when I'm reading history. What he likes to do in the bedroom. Another bizarre thing in our hyper-sexualized culture. This was a rant. Probably offensive. Good day.